Hey fam, I've been wanting to record this episode for a while, so welcome back to Listen to May. Sorry if my voice cracks at some point, I'm a little sick right now. Okay, so today I want to talk about burnout and our obsession with productivity. I know so many people talk about this. I'm not some expert on this or someone who's going to tell you how to solve burnout, but I just want to talk about how I'm dealing with it right now because I have, 3 weeks left of second semester of my freshman year. And listen, I love college, I love tech, I love my friends, I love everything here. But I'm also at the same time so incredibly tired. And I want to drop out of school and go start a farm. You know, the feeling when you're like, what if I don't need a degree? What if I just go become an influencer or some other random job where you don't technically need to go to college? It's not too late for me to make it on Broadway, right? It is indeed too late. I am not going to Broadway, but I think sometimes we all need a reminder about how the heck to deal with burnout. Okay, so what do I mean by burnout? Also, I'm moving my phone around a little bit while I'm doing this, trying to figure out where I want to record. Just a warning for if sound changes throughout. Okay, so, it's a Tuesday night, and what have I done today? I have woken up, gone to class, gone to work, and done homework. And that's been my whole day. And that's fine. I can deal with it, I can get through, I can make it to summer and everything, but also I'm so bored of school right now, I feel like most of my day is just me working so I can get good grades, so I can pass my tests, so I can get a good job and be quote unquote successful, which is great. Don't get me wrong. You should definitely, if you're in college, be trying to get decent grades. You want to do well, you want to understand your material, but it's so easy to lose motivation, right? Today I was applying to my millionth internship, which I've been told I'm not going to get because I'm a freshman, right? So we're told we're not going to get internships, but we still should apply to them. So I was applying to another because I want to have a good job this summer. I want to have a job that's not in retail. No offense to retail, but I've done it for long enough. And I was just feeling so discouraged. I was like, why am I writing another cover letter for this? Why am I trying to get a job? Why does this feel so important? And then I took a break from that and I went and did homework, and I was doing a few hours of work today, and it just all felt so confusing. I was like, why am I so tired all the time? Why is this all I'm doing? And I realized it was time to just kind of take a step back from that. And taking a step back does include me still doing my homework and going to work. I still have to do those things. But I've decided to lean into my burnout a tiny bit. Not forever. Not forever by any means. I just realized that if I'm burned out, it's for a reason. It's because I've been in college all year, and transitioning to college is so hard, You're meeting new people, you're living in a new place, you have a new workload, you're adjusting to everything. If you've been in college, you get it. If you're going into college, don't worry, it'll be good, it's a good change. But it's stressful and it does take time, and you're tired from it. I'm just tired sometimes socially, even around people I love, It's you can be around your family and love them and want to spend time with them, but you're also like, I need to be alone in my room for a little bit. Excuse the cough. Okay. So I was thinking, what do I do about my burnout? What do I do about the fact that I'm so tired that I don't feel like I can just go through another day of homework and work and more work and then homework again, And I realized that there's a good few solutions. Everyone's going to tell you different things. Some people will say, get through your slump, just work through it, and you'll get, a week later, you'll be fine. You're just burned out. It's a passing thing. It's an emotion, which is true. It's not going to be forever. But I also don't think that that's the answer. I think right now, if my body's telling me I'm tired, maybe it's time for me to have a better sleep schedule. And not some crazy night routine that's going to stress me out. But what I'm thinking is maybe set a timer for like 10 p.m. every night. What time is it? It's 9:30 right now. So I'm going to have to get ready for bed in like an hour. Not an hour, half an hour. Because that will give me enough time to get ready for bed, brush my teeth and everything, read a bit before bed, and actually fall asleep by like 11, which will give me enough sleep for getting up tomorrow around 7. My sleep schedule has been a little crazy. Not that crazy, but also not very stable. Where am I going with this? I have no notes for this podcast episode. Sometimes I have notes. This time I do not. This was all just me brainstorming while I was bored at work, because work today was just kind of like repetitive tasks. I wasn't slacking. I was just thinking while I worked. I was literally grinding up wheat today at work because I work with like the plant biology lab. No, that's not it. It's like a plant breeding program at my school, and I love it. It's great. But I was doing boring tasks. Anywho, where was I going with this? Okay, sleep. If I'm tired, maybe I should sleep. So like, duh. But I realized that in my quest, is that the right word? In my search to, get good grades and do well on my exams, because I've had exams literally every week, except this week, thankfully, and then I have 3 next Thursday and Friday. But in my like search to do well in school and go to work and earn money and save money and everything, I've been kind of neglecting some like really basic needs. And I think everyone does this at some point. Where you're really busy with school. I remember this happening in high school all the time, You have a project due and then you say, okay, I'll just stay up late one night. And then that stretches into like 3 months because you're always busy with your senior lit class and writing papers. And then you just never get sleep. And then it's like this terrible and never-ending cycle. But I don't want that. I want to now, when I'm stressed and trying to do all these things at once, realize that it's okay to take a step back and be like, oh, okay, what are my personal actual needs? Like physical needs, like sleep and enough water and, like bringing snacks to class and making sure I have enough energy in me. Something else this has included is going to the gym and like exercise, which is a whole other subject. And I really want to do a podcast episode on that because there's so much to unpack about exercise in college and exercise and like, recovery from disordered eating and stuff. So much to unpack there. It's a whole other episode, which I might do soon. But lately I've been trying to go to the gym like twice a week and then just hang out with friends while getting outside and outdoors in the warmth and sun, to take care of like my physical need for exercise and movement, which right now I'm at an okay place with where it feels good. And so I've been playing pickleball with some friends, and that, even if it doesn't solve my burnout, it gets me out in the sunshine and I am outside and hopefully not getting sunburned. And I'm getting some endorphins and I'm getting in social time. And that's been really important for me. And I think it's also really hard to just make a blanket statement where you're like, oh, just take better care of yourself. Just sleep more. Go exercise more. That's not how it works. I'm just saying that in the midst of burnout, it can be really easy to forget to just take care of yourself, including showering, making your bed, getting dressed in the morning. And you don't have to do those for other people. You don't have to do it to seem put together, but make whatever little step you can right now. If that's that you haven't gone to the gym this week, but you've been wanting to take that time for yourself, go do it. Take a break from your homework and do it. But if right now that's that you are struggling to get out of bed and struggling to brush your teeth, just work on maybe, like right now, your small task can be getting out of bed, sitting on the floor, and doing a couple stretches, Do what you can in the burnout to take care of your body so that you will feel physically good and clean and things like that. Not trying to emphasize anything about like toxic wellness. I'm literally saying whatever you need right now, whatever thing it is that you've kind of been wanting to do but need a little push to do, this is your sign. Go take that shower. Go get outside, get some fresh air, even if it's 5 minutes. Do whatever that little thing is that you know will just make you feel a little bit better about the world. Honestly, right now for me, I think that it's going to be getting a good night's sleep because I get up around 7 a.m. tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Literally crossing my fingers right now. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about with burnout. I think that's also just true for exhaustion and like when you're depressed in general is like sometimes you forget to do those little things for yourself because you're so engrossed in the overwhelmingness of your situation of burnout and feeling tired. Another thing I want to talk about is just taking some pressure off yourself. If you're like me, you're in college and there's info coming at you from literally every direction about how to manage your life. And that's stressful. If you're in high school, you're probably feeling that too, about like, where do I go to college? How do I make sure my college apps look good? How do I make sure I have the best grades possible so that I have the great future? And those things are important. Again, it's great that you care about your future. If you're thinking about that, say you're out of college and you've got a project you're working on, you want to do well on it because it matters for your work and you want to do well at your job. That is all good stuff. Don't get me wrong. But also, take a little pressure off of it. It's not that deep. It might seem pretty deep, but think about 5 years from now. Would you rather stress yourself out about it? Or do you rather get a good night's sleep once? Maybe not every day, but get that good night's sleep once. Right now for me, I'm trying to apply to internships. I've applied to so many. Haven't heard back from them yet. I really want to get some food science internship that's gonna, jump start my career or like help me find the right path for me or whatever. And that hasn't happened yet. And part of me is freaked out because I'm like, oh my gosh, this hasn't happened. I'm in college. This should have happened by now. But at the same time, I'm trying to take some pressure off and be like, hey, I'm a freshman. And even if I wasn't a freshman, it's not the end of the world. Some people will find what they love by chance, and it's not even through an internship or a job. It's through a friend or a class or a club or something. And you can't always orchestrate that yourself. You can do your best and you can try and you can work hard and you can make an effort to get out and know people. But in the end, whatever your goal is, whatever your plan is, you don't have full control over it. So take some pressure off. Because no matter how hard you try, you are not fully in control, and let that be a good thing. Let that be a relaxing thing where you can take that pressure off. And also remember that whatever it is, even if it's a big goal of yours, it is probably not the most important thing in this moment. Maybe the most important thing in this moment is that you get through your day, and getting through your day means taking a break, So take some of that pressure off yourself. Know that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to solve all of your future goals and plans by yourself. You don't have to control every part of your day. And you don't have to control what people think of you. You don't have to control any of that. All you have to do is do your best every day. You're probably already trying that. I am trying my best, and I still sometimes feel a lot of pressure. I often feel pressure because I put it on myself. But if I can tell myself that I'm doing my best, and if something I want doesn't happen, it's okay, and it's probably all for the best, it does help me live in the moment a little more. It helps me remember that I have more than internships in my life, If I'm taking some pressure off of getting a job, I can also remember that, hey, I'm enjoying this one class right now, or I just made some new friends that I really like and I'm excited to hang out with them. Or maybe literally just, oh my gosh, look, my show on Netflix has a new season. I'm excited about that. Right now I'm watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it doesn't have any new seasons, but I'm new to the show, basically. And a little joy for me right now is just watching that when I have a break in homework. So yeah, like I said 9 times, I think, take some pressure off yourself. You're doing great. Even if you don't think you're doing great, you're doing the best with your skills that you can right now. And it's okay to not have everything together. Another thing is, I was just talking to someone about self-care, and I know that you're probably thinking like face masks, nail painting, those are great self-care methods. And I was talking to Jack, and I was saying, like, what's a self-care thing I could do? Like, what I think of as self-care is, like, making sure I'm getting enough food, like going to the gym and enjoying that. And he was like, wait, no, so many people are able to just do that. And I think some people are, like, really good at just, like, taking care of themselves like that. But I think sometimes self-care can be really hard in that people forget to do those basic things. So I was talking about taking care of yourself physically earlier, which I hate now that I think about it, like the phrasing of, like, taking care of yourself. It makes it sound like this easy thing you just do because you want to, but it's so much more complicated than that. Hence, using that as self-care. So if self-care to you is pampering yourself, then that is quite literally awesome. Sometimes I consider that my self-care, and I'm not the best at, like, planning self-care or pampering or anything, but it can take so many forms, is basically what I'm trying to say. And you probably know that. You're human, you've lived on this earth, and you know that self-care is a buzzword that means a lot of things. What I'm really trying to say is, like, try to find some form of an activity that you do just for yourself. And that can be a lot of things. That can be packing that snack in your backpack because you know you're going to be crabby if you don't eat it. Just pack the snack. It's going to be good for you. You need the energy. Maybe it's getting to the gym. Maybe you're really good at taking care of those physical needs, but you haven't really slowed down and just, like, gone on a walk and enjoyed sunlight in a while. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to get outside. Maybe you love reading and you haven't been able to just spend 5 minutes reading lately because you're so busy with homework or your project at work or your friend gatherings. I don't know why I said it like that. Like, social events, and you're just so busy from, like, going to things. If you're burned out, taking a small part of your day, like 5 minutes, just for something for yourself, just purely to enjoy it, it's not going to change your life. It's not going to fully just, like, rid you of your tiredness, but it will remind you that you're living your life to live life, not to get through things. So, like, when I'm in the mindset of, I have to do my homework and I have to go to work and I have to make sure I'm getting this done and my room clean and all these things, sometimes I forget that I'm also able to just enjoy my day and I don't have to just get through a to-do list. So taking 5 minutes to read or do my hair or something, it might not be big, but it does remind me that I'm able to enjoy the things I do, which sounds so sad. Like, of course I enjoy things I do, but sometimes it can still feel like a to-do list, So lately what I've been doing is I just bought some new makeup with my friend Melanie. We went to Ulta and we bought some stuff, and I don't usually wear makeup just because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing with it, and I don't love the feel of foundation, but I got BB cream, which I'm really excited about because it feels so light, and it also has like SPF protection, so it functions as my sunscreen too for my face. Anyway, so my thing in the morning is I'm now going to put on my BB cream and some, like, lip gloss and some mascara, and that takes like 3 minutes. But doing that kind of reminds me that I'm allowed to take time to just enjoy things. And it's like a little small ritual. Not that I have like any specific morning routine or like morning ritual I do or something, but that's a small way this week that I've been trying to remind myself to just enjoy things and enjoy life, which again is easier said than done. It's not easy to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna enjoy my life today, positive vibes. Not real. It's not real. It's not how it works. If you're saying that, you're lying. But you can take 5 minutes to enjoy your day. I finally got a library card at the Blacksburg Library here, and I haven't like gotten that many books, but I got a couple, and I'm on my second right now, and so now I read before bedtime, and it's so nice. It reminds me of when I was in middle school or over summers, which is usually when I read more. Like in high school, I've always loved reading, but I didn't have time to do it during the week, so it would only be on like long holiday breaks in the summer and stuff. But now I'm trying to like bring that back into my day. It's not a huge thing, but it just reminds me that like when I go to bed, I don't have to dread all the things I'll have to do the next morning. I can just enjoy the moment of my, not full routine, but my bedtime moment of self-care. I don't know. I don't really know how I'm phrasing this, but I don't even know if these are tips. Are these tips? Are these helping someone? Please tell me they are. I hope they are. I hope I'm the only one burned out, because I hope other people aren't burned out, but you know what I mean. I know a lot of people get burned out at this point in the year. Anyway, those are, I guess, 3 things that are good things to keep in mind if you're burned out. But also, just like, sometimes you can embrace the burnout. Sometimes you can just take a couple days and be like, hey, I'm not going to see people. I'm not going to worry too much about my homework. I'm just going to sleep. Not for too long. I'm not saying you should just stay in bed all day. That's probably not going to actually help you with your burnout. But like sometimes you do need to catch up on sleep, basically. Another thing that is an overarching kind of theme for all of this is behavioral activation. So behavioral activation is really helpful for depression and things like burnout, where you don't have a lot of motivation to do things. Behavioral activation is the idea that doing small tasks over time will help build up your motivation, because as you start to do more tasks, you feel good about those tasks and it makes you want to do more, even if those small tasks are brushing your teeth or making your bed or showering, which isn't always as easy as it sounds, okay? Everything showers sometimes takes so long. You're washing your hair, you're like shaving your legs, you're doing the whole shebang, and it takes a while. Anyway, so I guess behavioral activation is probably the best way to get through burnout. But I also just want to remind you that you don't have to be perfect, and it's okay that you're burned out if you are, and it's okay that I'm burned out, because I am. And it doesn't mean you have to do anything about it, but if you want to do something about it because you're feeling kind of low about it, self-care, taking care of some of your like basic physical needs, and reminding yourself that you don't have to be perfect might help you. I also just want to remind people out there that are my age, if you are my age and listening, which is probably who's listening. How many people listen to this? I'm not sure. If you're in high school, if you're in college, if you're around my age-ish, because I am a freshman in college, take it easy. You're going to be fine. Even if everything feels really hard right now, you're going to get through it. It's almost summer, baby. You got it. Also speaking of summer, so I like to plan things. I love to make a good list, as the people around me know. I always have a list. I have like lists pinned up on my wall right now, because I forget things, and because I like to have like little visual reminders of things I want to do, or like fun things to remind myself to do. So like sometimes I'll have lists of like ideas for breaks. If anyone here has ever heard of like a dopamine menu, it's like split into like little activities, entree, bigger activities to do for fun. I like a good list that reminds me of fun things I can go do. But also, reminder to everyone and to myself to also maybe take some pressure off of summer expectations, because summer's coming up and summer's going to be great. You know, we're not going to have school. If you have a job, I'm sorry, you still have your job unless you're a teacher or something. But it will be warm out, so you got that. Warmth is always fun, unless you're someone who just doesn't like the heat, in which case, why are you in the heat? You can always just live in Alaska, which I'm sure gets hot, so ignore that. Anyway, summer's coming up. There are a lot of expectations with summer. I personally, I want to go on like a little day trip during summer. I want to have some kind of travel. I don't really travel a lot, but I want to figure out a way to make that happen. I have all these things I want to happen. Reminder that you don't have to know what's going to happen for it to be good. I feel like a lot of the things I'm saying here are just vast generalizations of like Tumblr-y like quotes. Like, the world will, like, once you take the pressure off, the world will give back to you, or something weird like that. Not weird, just so cheesy. I hope the things I'm saying are specific and not too general. I'm not trying to be vague. But I haven't figured this out, obviously, and I don't think anyone truly has figured out burnout and tiredness. But, yeah, take some of those expectations off whatever season you're in, whatever season you're about to be in. For me, that's reminding myself that my final exams are not my whole life. They matter. I'm going to study for them. But they are not my whole life. And neither is summer. If I work retail another summer, I'm going to be fine. I'm still going to be earning money that I can save for like a car or something in the future. I'm still going to have something to put on my resume, and I'm still going to be interacting with people and learning things about myself and about other people and about the world and all those things. And I'm still going to get to do fun things, even if I'm in a less than ideal situation. And so are you. Maybe your season right now, it's April when I'm recording this. Maybe right now you're really bored. You're like, wow, this kind of sucks. I don't like where I'm at. So valid. I hope you can feel that that's valid, and it's okay to feel that. But also, like, even when things aren't perfect, you can find the small things. You'll get through it. This is just a little tiny speck in your life. It'll be better, I promise. This episode's a little all over the place, but I hope it's fun to listen to. I want to have another guest on soon. I have some ideas for guests, but people are busy, as I explained in this episode. So I'm thinking of doing something about like college fitness. One of my friends actually recently, I think, had a podcast for an assignment where she talked about that, and that was really cool. Can't wait to listen to her podcast. But I also like want to get a guest on to talk about like how they see the gym right now in college, and like sports in college, and that's such a vast topic. I'll figure out something more narrow. But I don't know, let me know if you have any suggestions for episodes, something you want to hear about, a guest you want to hear. Like, let me know if you want me to get like Taylor Swift on. I can't do it, but let me know if you want it still. I want it. Maybe I'll like call in my first guest or something. I've only ever done in-person guests with people I'm like friends with. Maybe I'll like ask someone to be on my podcast who I don't really know. That could be kind of cool, I've been listening to a lot of pods lately while I do other things like homework. So I've been thinking a lot about podcasts. Maybe you have too. So yeah. Let me know what you want to hear. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your school year. If you're in school, have a great rest of your spring if you're not in school. No matter what you're doing, take some pressure off yourself. It's going to be okay, and you don't control everything. Okay. Bye, fam.